Hello fellow Star Wars fans, my name is Starrapter. Welcome to the channel. This is another episode of This Week in Star Wars Canon. So if you're new to the show, every week I break down everything new in the comics, in the TV series, in the novels, and into the video games. We're starting off with something big this week, guys. We got Star Wars Battlefront 2, Inferno Squad. This is written by Christie Golden, who also wrote Dark Disciple. This is the prequel to the video game. Here is the cover right here. Really cool cover art. And also I picked up the Barnes & Noble edition, which allowed me to also get this cool poster. The back side has some notes which are pretty humorous. So getting into this very briefly, because I do have a review spoiler free on the channel right now, so make sure you check that out after you watch the rest of this video. So in a nutshell, Inferno Squad is about the formation of the squad and about its first mission. So after A New Hope, after the destruction of the Death Star, Inferno Squad is formed to infiltrate the partisans to destroy them from the inside out. This novel is basically about these people, this four-man squad, infiltrating, becoming the enemy to destroy them from within. And it is something Star Wars hasn't really seen yet. It's got this spy vibe to it, very Mission Impossible, and it's got a very dark sort of story. There's a lot of death, a lot of tragedy in this story, so be prepared for that. If you know Christie Golden's art and her work, she does a lot with character development that will leave you heartbroken by the end of the novel, this one specifically. So make sure you check out my review on the channel right now. That wasn't all we had in Star Wars canon this week. We also had number 10 of Dr. Aphra. So this continues her storyline called Dr. Aphra and the Enormous Profit. This is part 2. And it is exactly that. It's about her auctioning off the Crystal of Roar, which is that commonality that's been all in the issues so far. That crystal of this ancient Jedi mind. She's trying to sell it off to the highest bidder. She gets all these criminals together to try to get some money. And this issue in particular breaks down each one of these criminals' motives for wanting this crystal and how they're going to try to outbid the others for that. And that's pretty much what all that went on in this issue. So I'm going to break down some certain things that I did like. So first off, I like how we're seeing a little bit more development in Black Kirstenton. He has stumbled upon his original, I guess you could call them captors. He's from this gladiatorial ring, and he found that these guys are also interested in this crystal. So that is making him a bit furious. Another thing I liked about this particular issue is how we have such a large amount of different reasons behind these people wanting this crystal. So we have one guy that just wants to use the crystal to live forever. We have these droids in particular that remind me of HK-47, how they want to destroy the crystal because apparently this crystal can affect the electronics in the droids. So they don't want that to happen. They want to destroy this thing, so it can't do that. Then we have this certain species of aliens that I've never heard of in Star Wars before. I believe they're called the Azara, and they just want to use it for galaxy domination. And well, they only control like 2 continents on a planet. They're making themselves to be a lot bigger than they actually are, which is pretty funny. And that is something else I want to talk about, is this issue continues to bring on the humor, and I really appreciate that. So that is what I thought about Dr. Aphra number 10. And the last thing I want to talk about today is the announcements coming out of San Diego Comic-Con. We have 3 new things I specifically want to talk about. 2 of them are going to link into the Journey to the Last Jedi publishing. We have a novel called Canto Bight, which is going to involve 4 short stories. It's going to have 4 separate authors. One of them I'm very excited for is John Jackson Miller returning to Star Wars canon. He did Star Wars A New Dawn, which kicked off all the canon, so I can't wait for that. And that's basically about these characters that are going to be featured in The Last Jedi, some of those background characters in Canto Bight, which is going to be a pretty large part of The Last Jedi. It's this casino kind of planet where these high up people are congregating. Another novel we have, this is going to be a young reader novel, I think. It's called Cobalt Squadron, and it involves that new character of Rose, and it has to do with these bombers. And I believe if you want to get deep into a Cobalt Squadron, I think was referenced in Shattered Empire, so that's kind of a neat connection. And the last bit of news that came out of San Diego Comic-Con was that we are getting a Thrawn miniseries. It's going to be 6 issues Hopefully it will have some stuff we hadn't read in a novel to keep things interesting for those that read the book, because I'm a little disappointed that we're not getting New Adventures of Thrawn. However, I do like that we're opening the door to having novel adaptations in comic form, so hey, maybe we'll get an Inferno Squad comic adaptation down the road. We'll see. And looking forward to next week, you guys can expect to see we're going to get Darth Vader number 4 and Rogue One adaptation number 5, so stay tuned for next week when I'll let you guys know how they are. So that is going to do it for another episode of This Week in Star Wars Canon, but now it's time for you guys to talk to me down in the comment section below. Are you reading Inferno Squad right now? Are you planning on reading it before Battlefront 2 comes out? Also, what did you think of Dr. Aphra with how the series is going so far? And what is your favorite bit of news to come out of San Diego Comic-Con for the publishing? Let's talk about it in that comment section below. Also, if you are new to the channel, please make sure you check out all the rest of the content. I have stuff such as Destiny 2 beta gameplay. I have a whole playlist dedicated to me trying out the different features in that beta. And I have plenty of other things related to movies and TV, so make sure you check that out and subscribe if you enjoy it. I'm Starrapter, thank you for watching, and may the Force be with you always. So, did you like the video? Then make sure you rate it a thumbs up, and if you did that, go over there, hit that Starrapter head to subscribe to my channel. Doing so will keep you up to speed on all of my latest content, speaking of which you can see a couple of my recent uploads down below. I'm also on social media, so what are you waiting for? Let's start nerding out.